Jesus fuck. Stop it, phone. Alright, whatever. Is this working? It seems to be working. Do you like the microphone, Nash? Nash! Want to say something? Want to say something? Okay. What does that sound like? I just ate my lunch. So oh. Okay. Okay, Nashville. Here, you can there you go. What are the ones we haven't explored yet? Let's look at lunchbox. I forgot to make a copy of it. Well, whatever. I have multiple backups. Cymatics Origin isn't on my computer. I know that. Alright. Do I still sound good? I don't know. Do I still sound good? It doesn't sound like it. There we go. Alright, that's a lot better. Alright, that's a lot better. So, this song only has one vocal track. Because I challenged myself to do it all in one take. Well, like one take in total. This song is probably my easiest song on the album. So, I wonder if my last one got copyrighted for, I'm surprised I didn't get muted. I have a pug, by the way, on my lap, so if you guys have a problem with how I look, it's not your problem. I can't fix that. Let's start off with the guitars. I miss this guitar. It doesn't really show up on Logic anymore. But it's just a loop. It's a synth guitar. I was too lazy. Again, the bass is very basic. It's just an arpeggiated version of the main melody. Just on a bass. Vibraphone. Don't know what a vibraphone is. It's that thing. It just added a bit of bass. I literally called it ambience. All different from 2012. All musicians. Like, if you get rid of it, it doesn't sound full, but it doesn't play a huge part. And then piano. A grand piano with a auto filter, which I don't really know what it does. I know it's a multi-effect though. Delay, and that's it. So it looks like the auto filter is adding the tremolo. You might see this used to be Dusty Memories before I changed it to an East Bay kit. This is another. Did they get rid of East Bay? I really gotta re-download this plugin because I use it on everything. I wish I tuned this better. That little sparkle sound effect is these two. This is an ES2. These two are just. I think everything in the song is basic Logic stock, other than the effects. Yeah, everything here is stock Logic. So you can make it yourself if you wanna. You want off? That for you for a reason. Should I add pug cam? I should. Calm down. You know me. Nope, Nashville doesn't want to be on camera. Nash does not want to be on camera. Sadly, this song is like really basic, and I don't really have much to say about it. It's one of my least favorites off the album. But it's better than a lot of the other songs, so. In my book, that's a win. Give me a sec. That's a lot better. Fixed. Wait, you want to see if my camera will work today? Let's hope. So you won't get an awkward view of me looking up my nostril. Please work. Hey! Seems to be working today. It's behaving. Yeah, that all looks fine. Alright. Let's go back to doing what we were doing. By the way, I still have 2 monitors, by the way. I technically have 3, but I'm only using 2 because my Mac does not have DisplayPort because it's a loser. Fuck, I am not doing well today. It's been a long day. Sadly, like, I wish I could go more into this song, but there really isn't anything to go into. Like, unless you can think of anything, there's nothing really. Can I show Oblivious now? It won't have any vocals. That's the only problem with Oblivious. It was mixing vocals again. Oh wow, I hate that. So it won't have any of its risers, I don't think. No. That sucks. We'll just mute them then. What about drums? It won't have any of the percussion. Locate. What am I looking for again? Oh, I can hear myself. I hate that. I hate how I sound. Sample cymatics. Borin type. Core lore that's finally ignored. Nashi is snoring so loud. It is cute, but very annoying. I need like a perk. I need the perk. Oh. Borin type. No Borin type. Best viewers, go fuck yourself. I hate scammers. Percussion. Nope. Risers? No. I don't want to hear myself anymore. Like, I hate hearing myself. It's my least favorite thing. Always had problems with my father. I wanna kill the it girl in me. Drill her with a saddle back to your 2003. My Looperman risers are gone. 808. That's in my 808 kit. Aces sample pack. EDM hi-hat. Okay. Okay, so I was able to get most of it. Not the risers. The risers are gone. But most of it is back. So this piano part has been around since I originally made the song back in 2018, 2019. Bam, 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 bam. This song is, like, with the vocals, isn't very good. The instrumental is just good. Is spinning. So I'd like to explain some of this right here. So this is all, as you can see, piano. Now what I did, this is just these two combined into one little track. I don't know why I didn't just use that in general. Oh, because it's more staccato. But then I transferred it over to a Parallel Earth piano, which is one of my favorite pianos in Logic. And I didn't transpose it, which was stupid of me. I didn't know how to use it yet. Like, the pianos are needed. But the piano is... It's basically it is the song. And, oh my god, you can tell. Holy shit. That was painful to program, by the way. This is Plastic Keys. It's a Logic Pro synth. Mix that with Analog Funk, which is another one. But, yeah. And then I used two Surge synths. I think they're both the same, actually. These two are, yeah, they're both Beefy Boy. I think. Yeah, this one's transposed an octave. But that's just the melody. And it's just da-da-da. It's a really simple melody. It's D, F sharp, A. Then it goes up to E minor. So it's literally D major, E minor, played in threes, and then it goes back to D, then C major, then D, then F, and then back to D, and then C again. Fun fact, D was the first chord I learned on piano, not C. More Logic Pro shit. Contemporary soul. Did I time that wrong? I did. Added a gliding bass. And if you... There's no power to it. What I did was I added this surge bass called Power Buzz. It's like a buzz saw. That just added more to it. So far, if we get rid of the drums... And then what I did was the drums. Usually I do drums first. But, if you don't know, this is my favorite drum kit, Dusty Memories. You might recognize it if you listen to Boy with Uke. This first kick got cut off, and I don't know why, and I'm still kind of pissed about it. This song was very rushed, I'll say that, and I'm not happy that it was. Then I added an enveloper to Dusty Memories, and the reason why it's called Pitfalls from God is if you listen to Pitballs? The fuck is wrong with me, bro? The fuck is wrong with me? If you... Oh, wow, my screen's flashing again, okay. If you listen to Pitfall very closely... and get rid of the enveloper right here. Let's listen. It's the same. It's pretty much the same, just without the other layers. So I did that. Combine those two together. Another way I could have done this is if I instead sent it all to a bus, moved all of the new effects over. Did I do that correct? With my father, I wanna kill the it girl in me. It's not a bus, that is the master. Enveloper, compressor, enveloper. And then I could have just turned up to 0. And that would have worked fine, but I didn't know how to use buses, so I didn't do that. I also used Brooklyn Heavy and another Dusty Memory and an 808 hi-hat for... This is not a Logic Pro sample. This is a sample I got off of Looperman. I really like this heavy kit. Yeah. And again, that is literally just how I made the song. It's a really simple song. A lot of these are really simple songs. Also, if you want to listen to the sample, this is what it sounded like. I can't breathe. That's what it was. It's a video from a few years ago when I first started Struck Crescendo. I was doing these like daily logs of how I was doing music-wise, and this was one of them. And I was outside in the really like fucking cold, and I was like, and I have asthma. I have really bad asthma, and I couldn't breathe. And this is technically the full clip. Not even joking. I can't breathe. I can barely breathe. Yep, that's the clip. I know. A lot. Take it in its glory. And the reason why it's muted on this project is because this doesn't have the vocals in it. Wow. Alright. These two are going to be fun. These two are going to be really fun songs to decompile. And I kind of want to see if anyone can recreate these. Actually, I would like to show some demos before we go ahead. This is what the Oblivious sounded like. At least the first one I can find. What drum kit is that? I had gotten obsessed with using these beeps. And the reason why is because I used them into the beat, and it just made the song satisfying. Speaking of to the beat, let's open up V1. Because it sounds only a little different, and you'll see why. Oh yeah, I remember why I had it cut off all weird, because I was experimenting. And by the way, if you're wondering why everything here is muted, it's not because this is like embarrassing or like something I need to leak. It's from the new song. This is a recreation of V1, but it's a perfect recreation. So what you're gonna notice here in a minute is that this song, vocals changed, but nothing else did. Like, the instrumental stayed the same from when I first made it. So this is V9. This I may have posted on TikTok. Death inside my brain. Yeah, this is the first TikTok where I got clowned on for a perfectly good reason, by the way. It sounded horrid. And I've heard that isn't a word you should say anymore. Horrid. like horrible. Is it? I don't know. I don't care, cause it doesn't mean anything offensive. It just means like, oh, that's horrid. That's bad. That's you. When did I change my username? Oh yeah. Not that account. Let's see. Can I find it? Yes, I can. Yes, I can. I've had no. Someone unsubscribed from me. I don't care. I don't care. Made for kids. You. Shorts policy. Oh yeah, because it's copyrighted. With my oh yeah, I forgot I copyrighted my own song. All right. I copyrighted myself multiple times. All right, let's see.
Okay, look at me. Then look
What was wrong with my voice, dude? It was so high. Look at me. Fucking dude, man. Fucking dude, man.
at the floor. Look at me one more time, and then listen to this cool demo I made.
What was I trying to do? I was trying to do some funny thing, but I couldn't.
Okay, look at me. Then look at the floor. Look at me one more time, and then listen to this cool demo I made of a song. Counting down the minutes of my death, got a timer up.
Same vocals. The things that haven't changed are the ad-libs, though. The ad-libs, I don't even know if these are ad-libs, but they're highly auto-tuned. I don't think I ever showed these vocals on the internet. I think I hid these. I don't know why I scrapped these. They sound good. That's why. It's the demo lyrics. I don't think I ever showed this online. Until today. Alright, so now let's actually go into the beat. So this is the finished song. Looks like we're not going to have any vocals. Yup, we will not have any vocals. Never mind. Apparently, the vocals are fine. So these are what the vocals look like. They were all tuned in Melodyne. Oh, it's the outro vocals that are gone. Oh, wow, that sucks.
Anxiety, the hell is now a part of me. Fuck it,
like, I still have them. I'm just too lazy to put them in. This was before I knew what summing groups were, so everything was in a folder stack. The problem with folder stacks is that you can't put effects on them. So what I would do is I would select like all of the tracks that I wanted to change. I changed the output to a bus because I didn't know what buses were for yet, and I checked if every track was on the bus, and then I put the effects on that bus. What really I could have done is, it's basically the same thing, but I could have went and, why are you in outro? I could have selected all of the vocals, all the things that I wanted to change, right click, create track stack, and instead of clicking folder stack, a summing stack. Summing stack is a multi-purpose track stack that functions as a mixed subgroup and can be saved as a patch. You can record and play MIDI regions on the main track. So basically, what this will do is it is technically a bus, but it's an easier way to manage it. You can see it, and it like keeps everything in a nice, neat little folder. But as you can see, all of the outputs change to that bus. And you can change what bus it is, too, if you really want. So I could be like, no, actually, I want this to be bus 33, 34. And then I'd have to change them manually. I thought that was different. So I'll go back to 14. And now, what you can do is you can add an audio effect over here. So let's say I want to add a phaser. I just add that on. And then it's in all of these. And also, you don't have to select all of them to solo manually. You can just click the sum stack and it'll solo. Which you can do that with folder stacks, but with every one, every time you add a track inside of it, like if you duplicate a track inside the folder stack, go and mute said folder stack, look at what happens. This one doesn't mute at all. It doesn't mute at all. It basically still has audio. And that always pissed me off, and I didn't know how to fix it. Just use a summing stack, dude. But apparently I didn't want to. I didn't know what it did. And I didn't want to ruin my projects. I could have just gone back to an earlier version, but no, I was too lazy. So the transitions are this is my favorite riser I've ever made. So basically what I did is this is ambience. Why did I use normal? Apparently I used normal automation for this, which as you can see makes the track just completely messy. What I could have done is I have that slowly turn up. Oh. And it's the same effect, but apparently I didn't. So I got this ambience, and then I automated it, apparently. And it kind of created that little thing. And that on its own, if it was just that, sounds pretty good. But then I was like, no, I'm not done. And I found this in Logic's stock sound library. Literally, all you have to do is search that up. All you have to do is go over to the Apple Loops and search it. And there it is. The reason why mine sounds so weird is because it's pitched to the key. See? Pitch source project key. And that, again, on its own would have sounded pretty good. But I decided, no, it's not enough. More ambience. Also automated instead of fucking whatever. Also, I didn't automate it out. And again, these are all like Logic plugins. Not Logic plugins. Logic sample. Well, yeah, actually all of it is Logic plugins too. there is not a single outside plugin except for maybe the auto-tune that I used, which was Melodyne. But again, I also used pitch correction like a lot. All of these instruments are Logic Pro. Oh, that sucks. All these are Logic. Which, by the way, I don't recommend doing. I don't recommend learning Logic Pro with only the stock plugins. You can if you want to. It sounds pretty nice. They're pretty good keyboards. Just expand your horizons. So this is where production gets weird again. What I do before I record vocals is I plan out the melody on a synth. So, and then what I do is I kind of just... So I have two here. I have... And by the way, originally they weren't panned. And I wasn't even going to add these to the original mix, I might add. But originally, I was going to take these out. I was going to just leave the vocals. But I liked how they sounded. And I just keep on doing that. Sometimes I would do vocal warp-ups with them, like ma 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 ma. Mommy made me mash my M&Ms. Mommy made me mash my Mommy made me mash my M&Ms. And that would get me used to how it sounded, and then I'd go and do that for the next. Mommy made me mash my M&Ms. And so that would make it easier for me to record these vocals, because then, although I was auto-tuning them for a robotic sound, I didn't have to... re-record it like thousands of times just so I can get on key. And well, not that, but it's just easier to get on key. Because I also have perfect pitch. I'm not able to tell what a key is, but I can... I'm able to tell it. Like, I'm able to do that. Pretty easily. So it just kind of helped me. This song has probably the most layers in a 5 Days Till Death song, with all of the transitions and ad-libs. By the way, I moved the ad-libs up here in the final mix. I don't know why that's interesting, it just is, but including all of the effects and all of the vocals, you cannot have them all fit. You have to scroll. Like, that's 2 scrolls. Which, again, is the largest I had ever had for a project. I think it still is. I think it still is. But it was strange to me. It was also very hard to mix in general. The song was a pain in the ass to mix. But I pushed through. I wasn't going to release it if I couldn't mix it. And I was going to have a professional master do it. But, fun fact, I don't have that money. I am actually a poor high schooler. So, I don't have the money to hire, like, Dan Becker or something. Or someone. That's his name, right? Dale Becker. I was close. So I've already dissected the transition, but let's go into the synths, because the synths are the coolest part of the song. I have not used any of these synths since I created the song. Like, these synths I don't use on a daily basis. Like, most songs I'll use the same synths, like drum kits. Like, I'll use Mixed Boom Bap and Brooklyn and Dusty Memories like thousands of times. I'll use Analog Pad a lot, Gliding 808, which I don't have in here, but all of these I have not used since 5 Days Till Death. Not because I don't like them, I absolutely love them. It's just like they're not in my main they're not in my main production line. They don't add what I want it to. But in this song, it felt kind of natural. And I should probably, you know what, we're going to do a little Genius autocomplete interview real quick. I'm going to go through every line of the song and explain what it means. I don't know if I have the lyrics. Counting down the minutes of my death. Got a timer on my watch, hoping it'll help. Counting down the minutes of my death. Got a timer on my watch, hoping it'll help. With the fear of death, I hear it shout. So the whole idea for this song, by the way, was from a Brandon Ferris gag. If you don't know who Brandon Ferris is, you're probably living under a rock, but if you've ever seen the exploding watermelon video, that's not him. That's Mark Rober.
Yeah, it's almost kind of cleans up the watermelon mess I made.
If you've ever seen this clip before, sometimes it's slowed down, so it looks like this.
Rubber band, a handle.
It's hilarious. If you've ever seen that, then that's Brandon Ferris, and him and his friend Cameron made a video like reacting to TikToks. I think this one's it. I'm trying to find it. I apologize. It's like, I know which one it is. I'm kidding, I don't. I'm sorry, oh fuck. I'm sorry, I'm like weirdly breathing down your neck right now. My asthma is not doing well this allergy season. So, give me the benefit of the doubt, I beg. not this one. Oh, I think it is this one, though. Um... Um... I will find this. Is it not this one? I'll find this. Oh, I found it.
I gotta get out of here.
God,
Jeez, dude. We hit our heads for a living, and that hurt me.
ooh, that's.
Let me hear it again.
I have finished.
I have finished. He just called his own death.
And
Finn. What if every time before you die you announce it?
done. And time.
So
That was the one. That was the one. Time! And, that gave me the idea of, like, what if you had, like, a watch on your wrist that told you when you're gonna die, like, there's a countdown, and you're just watching it for your entire life, and you're not bothered by it. Like, so the whole thing of this song was, like, I'm not bothered. Like, everyone else is not bothered with this watch on their wrist that tells them when they're gonna die, inevitably. But, I am. I know I'm gonna die one day. I'm fucking terrified. And the metaphor was, like, if I keep on acting the way I am, if I keep on being the toxic friend I am, if I keep on reducing my mental health but nothing but a joke, and I keep on hurting myself over and over again with people who I know hurt me, and this entire song was pretty much my last message to my old self, I'd say. This song was like here are your flaws. You need to get the fuck out and go get some therapy. Go figure out how to be a good person. It was kind of like an apology to my old friends. And I love this song, though. It's one of my favorite songs I've ever made. But I was thinking to myself, like, what if you had a watch that counted down to your death? And I kind of ran with that. I think I ran with it a bit too much. Did it come out in 2025? There's no way it came out in 2025. I thought it came out in 2024. Huh. It came out April 1st, 2025. Huh. I knew it came out April 1st, but I didn't know it came out 2025. I thought it came out in 2024. Wait, no. If it came out in 2024, then it would have been on Staying in My Bed. That tracks. Anyways, So that was just kind of the idea, and this was like, I'm fucking afraid to die. I'm afraid to hear the chelp that says you're done. And I'm afraid that I won't be able to be a better person, and I won't be able to live the life that I want before this time where I die inevitably comes in. And that's pretty much the entire first part of the song. With the inducing anxiety, the hell is now a part of me. Fuck it all, I'm ghosting you. Do it again, we won't like it though. My brain is filled with silicone. So with the inducing anxiety, the hell is now a part of me. I would put those anxieties of being a bad person, which I was. I'd have those anxieties, and I would not let them go. I would make them a part of who I am, which, by the way, don't do that. Not fun. But my entire personality was, I'm fucking scared. So that was the entire thing. And every time it would get too bad, I'd just ghost my friends. I'd be like, I can't be in this friend group anymore. I'm a problem. And that anxiety would get to me bad. And I'd make it my entire personality, which, not good, Ace, not good. That's why I'm on antidepressants. Do it again, we won't like it though. My brain is filled. I'm calling myself stupid. My brain is filled with silicone. I'm calling myself stupid. I'm basically saying, you are so stupid for getting back with this person over and over again. This person has hurt you. But we should do it again. And by the way, after I wrote this song, I dated this guy again. It didn't come out. Not after it came out, but after I wrote this verse, the refrain, I dated the guy again. I don't know why. But everything after this first refrain was after that. Because I stopped writing the song when I was with him. Him. I'm not straight. I feel like this is known though, so. But what if we had done it one more time, we define it, we no longer lie. Clap to the beat while I watch you rest. I had a dream the night we broke up that I was performing a live show. Like, I was recording a live show. So it wasn't going to be like a real live show, but it would be like pre-recorded, and I'd host it all. And I was imagining me putting it up on the TV with him next to me, and he would slowly fall asleep on my chest, and I'd keep on listening. I'd keep on bumping my knee to it, but I wouldn't wake him up. That was the idea behind that. It was a dream. Vacuum in the garden in French class yesterday. End of the day, saw you staring at my face. No, we've done this before. No, it ended poor, didn't it? The literal day before the end of the year. I got a message. Oh, it's hey nothing. The last day, like the day before the last day of school. Wait, no. It was the day of my celebration, because I was... No, wait. Yeah, no, I'm right. It was the second to last day of school. I was vacuuming the carpet in my French class. You'll never guess from the lyrics. But my teacher would make us vacuum every day. So I was vacuuming the floor because I would only do it. No one else would do it. I'd only do it. And I catch a glimpse of him, my ex, staring at me. Like staring at me. And it was weird. Can't stop breathing, it's a curse. Panic attacks in my bed, thinking the worst. Knocked out in my head on the door frame. Move too fast, cicada in my brain. Can't stop breathing, it's a curse. All of this was written after something I don't want to talk about, but it was right after an attempt. And what? Right after that, I thought I was cursed. No matter what I did, I wouldn't be able to leave the earth. And so I'm cursed. I need to leave this earth, but this is torture. This is hell. And I was so out of my mind that my mind was like, right after it happened, my mind was racing. And this was right, as I said, right before summer. So cicadas were just like, since I live in Missouri, cicadas were just all over the place. You step outside, all you could hear was just blinding ringing. It was so bad. But I felt like a cicada. I felt like, I was just, there's one thing in my brain, there's one thought, and it's being repeated thousands and thousands of times, but it's like that Pong game that is at 20 times speed that we're somehow still playing, even though the ball has left the court multiple times, but whatever. And that was just kind of what I was thinking at that time. Forget me, forget the rest. A piece of shit sitting at the cabin where we kissed. We rest the rest of the beat. When I was with this person, we would sneak behind the I don't know what it's called. It's those things in the backyard, in a backyard that you put your gardening tools in. It's like a little mini home, a shed. And I was like, okay, a piece of shit sitting at the... I've already forgot the name of it. Piece of shit sitting at the shed. But that didn't sound right with the song. So I scrapped it and replaced it with cabin. Fun fact. That just didn't make sense. So I changed it. I changed it to cabin. And we used to kiss back there. It was quite nice. Think it through just one more time. Borderline and suicide. Got this voice in my head. It's you, block it out. Can't hear the rest. The self-narration telling me not to live was them. And then it just repeats. The entire interlude is right after, like, I hadn't slept in maybe a week. Like 4 or 5 days. And it's wonder if it's real. Hallucinations kill. Wonder if I got until my clock strikes 0. And that also plays off of the, like, timer on your wrist telling you when you're gonna die. But I legit thought I was gonna die. That was a fun day. borderline and suicide. Thinking about the ways that I got better. Just slide through the days, I hope it got better. So this was me trying to... So this last part is finally... I took the clock as a countdown till I changed as a person when I was writing this last half of the song. Because I was trying to be a better person. Because I wasn't the greatest person. I wasn't a good friend. And I felt like this was just me kind of grasping to like, well, maybe I don't have to change. Maybe I can stay at who I am. But no. I have to, like, no matter what, you weren't feeling better when you were that person. You weren't feeling better because you would just joke about yourself, and you'd then take it out on your friends, and you'd make your friends feel like crap. And you knew that you would. You did it consciously. But yeah, that's like me trying to grasp at my old self. But no, I let it. It's like grabbing it off of a cliff and holding it, and you're about to pull the person up, and then you realize, why should I? Why should I keep this person around? And not in the way that it's like a random stranger, but in the way that it's like Ted Bundy. I'm not saying I was as bad as Ted Bundy, because I wasn't. Ted Bundy is a horrible person, but like, it's someone who you know is a bad person, and they don't deserve to be grabbed and picked up, but should you? And the only reasoning why I let that person fall instead of keeping it up is because that person wasn't a real person. That was me. That was my old self. So I let it fall, and I let who I should have been stay. And that's who I am. That's who I should have been at that time. How I should have treated people is how I treat people now. Who I should have been then is who I am now. And I feel like that it takes a lot to admit that you were a narcissist. But I can 100% do that. Through and through. If you can make it better, why you so far away? Is it 'cause of your friends? Do I look like I do cocaine? 'Cause I don't. No, I don't. It's always been one of my favorite lyrics. I have never had an experience with drugs. But, I'm skinny. Like, I've always been a skinny person. I've never been, like, bigger, buff. I've always been skinny. And a lot of that can contribute to body issues, but whatever. And there were some people at my school who did think I did drugs because of how skinny I was. But no. I am a normal person who does no drugs. I'm just skinny. That was, but that literally to the beat is a giant fuck you letter to myself. Anyways, now we can actually get to the production of it, because the production of it is one of the main reasons why the lyrics is one of the main reasons why it sounds like it does. First off, I'd like to go and look at the synths. If you listen to the song, there are no chords. There are no chords anywhere. I think, like, maybe in the chorus? Nope, not even in the chorus. There are no chords anywhere in this song. Yep, see? And the reason why is because when chords are naturally seen as calming. Like, if I grabbed my guitar and played a chord, so if I did this, compared to like an arpeggio, it's calming, because an arpeggio is more, at least with this song, it's more fast-paced. And so instead of it being a careful letdown as the chord sways out, since I'm literally, like, the metaphor of the song is that I'm dying, let's just make it, your mind is running. So there's no chords in the song, which a lot of people I talk to, a lot of producers who I talked to, did not like that. Like, I've talked to producers about this song millions of times. And by the way, for those wondering, I'm not saying I'm, like, super famous. It's just, like, I know a lot of people. My dad knows a lot of people, and I've been able to talk to these people. Very lucky to be able to. But I showed them the song, and they're like, where are the chords? And I said, there are no chords. And people didn't like that. But when the song came out, I was talking to my friend about it, and she looked at me and she went, this is the same friend that's girlfriend is who Heaven and Hell is about. Like, Heaven and Hell is about her ex-girlfriend. But this friend who listened to it was like, Ace, you know, the tension that is throughout the song because of the lack of chords, it's exactly what the song needed. And I went back to those producers with the lyrics and the verses and all of the vocals recorded, and they instantly realized why there were no chords. So the main song is just this one melody over and over again. It's so quiet. I don't know why. That's the entire thing. The bass is the same. Also, if you're wondering why in a lot of my songs the sounds on the right ear are louder than the ones on the left ear, I have a little bit of hearing damage in my right ear. I don't know where it came from. I don't know why it's not my left ear. Because my left ear has been tortured more than my right ear. But, that's why. The drums are also a sense of panic. There isn't a consistent hi-hat. And that's intentional. Like, if I filled it out so that the entire song had a hi-hat, the entire thing had hi-hats. Listen to how it would sound. It'd sound kind of assured. Like, you can assure that this hi-hat is going to stay. You know, alright, I can trust this hi-hat. It's going to stay. But I don't want my listeners to have a sense of security. I want them to feel dangered. Wow, okay, that didn't sound good at all. I want them to feel scared in this song because the entire thing is I'm about to fucking die. I'm terrified. So why should I give the listener reassurance? And it's basic music theory. If you don't keep a single thing consistent, which is also why this drum line isn't consistent at all, the only consistent thing in this drum line is the boom, boom. That's the only consistent thing in this drum line. The hi-hats are random at best. And the kicks just, like, why is there a random 4 here? No one would expect that unless they knew that we were going into a refrain. So that's the entire point of the drums sounding so weird. Why didn't I have a crash at the beginning? It's that feeling of a lack of security. And that, to me, is what makes a song so special. The fact that I actively used psychology. I actively used psychology in the song to make the point come across. So let's listen to how it sounds like with the effects and the riser just on its own. I just realized it kind of sounds like I'm just... Never mind. Yeah. And then we move on to the pads. Well, the bass, actually. Let's move on to the bass. It's an upright studio bass. Alright, let's move on. And also the reason why this sounds so... If you look very carefully, that is this much off from the normal one, so it sounds unsyncopated. It sounds really weird. But I love how it sounds. And it also adds to that reassurance, because if you think that all of the bass is in your ears, it's going to be, alright, so... My mother just texted me. Sounds good. Anyways. What if it was just... Then it would sound so assuring. I want my viewers to not feel assured, have a false sense of security. My viewers, listeners. And then the analog pad. This is, you know those videos that's like, I can be your uncomfort streamer? That's what I was trying to do. One thing I tried with this song was making it... Oh wait, never mind. I'm going insane. Yeah, no wait. One thing I tried with the song is I tried to make it a little off time, have a kind of jazz, like a swing. Bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. It didn't work. I'm not gonna lie, it didn't work well, but it still sounds phenomenal. And that's the pads. If we move on to this next part.
Let's fucking go!
Forgot about that. That is me right after doing a take, by the way. That is like a real sound of me being happy. There's this part, which right here, which is so weird. That is an alarm. So the fun thing about this song is that you are not alive. I am not alive at all during this. That's the point. By the time that I have realized what's happening, I am already dead. But that's not revealed until the line... not that. Until the line, wonder if it's real. Hallucinations kill. That is what makes it apparent that this is not real. None of this is real. And this is like the alarm going off. So there are people surrounding your dead body. This is a bit dark. I'm not a serial killer. I watch a lot of horror movies, though. So imagine you're laying down, dead. Your alarm's going off. Dead, 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 dead. And there's people surrounding you, coming over, making, like, well, this person's dead. Gotta take them to a hospital, but this person's dead. And, sadly... And that's kind of what this foreshadows the entire time. And the reason why it becomes more and more apparent throughout the song is because if we listen, you can only hear it if you listen to it closely.
Let's fucking go. That was...
Because it kind of blends in. But it blends into these synths in specific. But if we go over to where it is more apparent and you're realizing this is a dream, where are these synths? Wait a minute. That, my friends, is mixing at its finest. Mixing is the most important part of a song. Never forget to mix your songs. And that's what I love about this song. It's the use of every music technique I learned. And as you can see, all of the synths come in. So if you can't tell what that was... So actually, you know what? I'm going to pause real quick. Back to the pre-chorus.
Vacuum in the carpet in French class yesterday. And
There we go. All of those are off. So, I read a study that when you're about to die, the last, like, there's 5 minutes of the best parts of your life playing in your head, like a highlight reel. And, for me, one of my favorite memories is when I was first introduced to music. Like, actually. Like, I've been listening to music my entire life, but I just thought, like, oh, this is just the natural order of things. This song has been around since the earth was created. Michael Jackson, you know, he was a thing when God made the world or whatever. I'm not religious. But when this is what sparked the passion of music for me. When I was first introduced to the concept of music, it fascinated me. Because what do you mean? Every single little thing I hear was thought about, put in intentionally, and then was made to make your ears feel good. What do you mean all of this isn't just the natural order of things, but is art. And the first song that really did that for me is a Michael Jackson song. I was born to Michael Jackson. But the first song that did it for me was Michael Jackson, Off the Wall, Rock With You. And Rock With You is a very glam rocky disco anthem. So I grabbed this bass from GarageBand. And I thought it sounded kind of like the bass used in that song, so I put it in. And I definitely know that is going to be in my 7 minutes before I die. Being introduced to music. You're dead. Let's listen to that real quick. You know what a metronome is? So before this, I did not know how to record a metronome. For those who don't know how to do it, what you have to do is you have to go into your mixer, go to all, then you have to scroll through all of your layers, and then go to click. This, if you have the click track on, you mute it, it's gone. So what you have to do, solo it, and you right click, create track, and you put in an empty audio file. So I'm just gonna put in this. And sorry, I just explained this completely wrong. You have to put in a audio track, right here, microline, record just like silence. That is nothing. And if you really want to make sure it's nothing, you turn it to 0. You move up and you group these two together and you right click on click, create a new MIDI region. This MIDI region is going to be completely empty though. Because although you can plan out a click track with it, there is no use. But I would like to actually add this to my club. But with this, you will want to select both of these, right click, bounce, turn off include audio trail, include volume pan information, and turn off bypass effect plugins. Click leave, and then click ._bit. And once it comes out, you'll get this. The metronome's off, it's muted even. It's coming from that. And you can also just like export that as background. So I didn't know you could do that. So what I did instead was I used an 808 Flex. And I used the rim. And what I did was, as you can see, I kind of cut the low ends. Not too much, so then it didn't sound bad, so I just did that. And that part is just a glockenspiel. And then we go straight into the violins. So an entire orchestra, first off. At least most of one. And then what I did, and by the way, this is only for the chorus, so this is nowhere else in the song except for the violins in the end. add a glockenspiel of the melody. Add the bass. Bring back the pads. Bring back the bass.
We rest the rest of the
Think it through just one more time. Borderline and suicide. Got this voice in my head, it's you, block it out. Can't hear the rush.
forget me, forget the rest. A piece of shit and not the cabin.
And you have the best song to ever be created. That's a joke. And then the outro is just everything reused. This is probably my favorite song on 5 Days Till Death. It is, actually. You know what? I'm not even gonna lie. It is my favorite song on 5 Days Till Death. This was my most streamed Struck Crescendo song. I was on my Wrath last year, which I'm not proud of. I was number 4. Let me... Sorry, number 5. I was number 5 on my Wrapped. I don't know if you can see that well, so I'm gonna go back to my normal face cam. There I was. Yeah, no, I was number 4, actually. There it was. That was my Wrapped. And I'm not proud of it, and I would like to admit I don't listen to my songs as much as it shows. In fact, most of those were for rehearsals, because I was planning a concert. I was planning something, and it fell through. I didn't have the budget for it. Well, I ran out of budget. So that was very sadly canceled. Alright, To the Beat's done. Alright. We have one more, and this is probably the most interesting one. No, it's not. To the Beat was the most interesting one, but this one's pretty cool too. This is Thought I Blocked You. Aha. And I don't think the Vox works at all. Yeah, the Vox is dead. Whatever. So this, oh wow, another completely unsorted song. So, immediately I can tell this song was made a while ago. In fact, I think the first mention of it is, I think the day I made it, I posted it on TikTok. And the first time I ever played this song was Tidbits. Was it Tidbits? Yep, here it is. It was the first of September 2024. I was with a girl at the time who really liked my music, and I didn't know how to feel about that. Oh my god, it's another fucking guitar solo I can't play. Alright, so immediately, you can tell I'm using Brooklyn. You can tell it's my song with the things I use. Just a basic kick pattern. Now I'm listening to our music. And then let's add some keys, some chords. So this song does not have any ARP. Oh wait, it does. Never mind. I thought it was just delay. But no. But it is really weirdly done, and I don't know why. Bass. This is a weird bass. I have never used this bass outside of this. It is called the Dusty Road Bass. It is from a drum kit called, well, Dusty Road. And look, it's a strange drum kit. I'm not even gonna lie here. Like, oh wait. But there's the bass. So if you want to use it, go ahead. That's how you find it. And that is literally all of the first verse. Again, you can tell it's my song because I'm using Dusty Memories. Oh, Dusty Memories. I really tried to make it sound like I had real drums. I don't. I have electric drums. Right here. I don't use them because they're unplugged. And I lost the cable. Immediately, what the fuck, alright? Slow jam is not very slow. That's just a cymbal and a kick over and over. Alright, what about Dusty Memories? Okay, then. Alright, what about, okay, noisy 808 bass. Can't be that bad, right? I don't know what I was expecting. Well, Fairy Tales. Oh, I love Fairy Tales. It can't be that noisy, right? Oh my god, it's Parallel Earth! And I used it correctly. Wow, I'm surprised by that. Sounds pretty good, too. Okay, the strings. Not that bad. Alright, I'll take it. Ooh, 80s goth. We're on a streak. Come on. You'll never guess what this song is. I'll give you a hint. It's a rock song. Is this in the full song? Because it doesn't sound like it is. It really doesn't sound like it's in the full song. It is. So that is real. I'll be back in a second. Chat. Mom? like sometimes you guys forget I'm a teenager. I have a mother. True, you have no one. Is it true you have no star? Do you wonder from? So it is in there. Yeah, it's just a basic. This is basic for me now. Like, if I was showing off Staying in My Bed, you'd be completely and utterly unimpressed on how basic the production is. Okay, that's enough of that. Yeah. So that's Thought I Blocked You. Again, like, a lot of these songs were not made now. Like, I can show you an example of what an average song, like, finished song of mine looks like now. Because it's not this. I'll tell you that. It's not that. It's a lot more. By the way, I have cut some songs from the next project. So. 07. You know, I'm starting to think it isn't Doc Martens V3. I think it's V6. Let's see. Unless this was another one where it was, like, hard to mix. Nope. Alright. Let's show this. So this is Doc Martens. This is what it all looks like, taken its glory. First, it may not look like a lot, right? But let's just really quickly look at the instrumental. That is only 27 tracks. Keyword only. Also, I'd like to mention how I have 4 basses going on at the same time. 5, 6, 7 basses. My computer sometimes can't handle this song. Well, Core Audio can't. You know what? That may help. No, it won't. Yeah, my computer can't handle this song anymore. Well, while live. But that's Doc Martens. That's what Doc Martens looks like. If you want an example of a song that I'm working on, here is an example of a song that I am working on right now. No, that's not what I want. A lot of these songs I can't show. By the way, some lo-fi stuff is being worked on. Like, it's being... Something's happening with it. Something's happening with those lo-fi skills that I developed in a reminder to read. I'm not just gonna throw them in the trash. I know, I'm such a... Oh. Wow, okay. Yeah. Liverpool. This is what happens when you're too lazy to create drums. So I'd just like to say this guitar solo is pretty easy to do. I shouldn't be showing this though. Is there anything else that I can show? I think I'm going to show you guys one more thing. So fun fact, this is a song I made at school during piano class. If you're wondering, this is 100% based off of My World by Conan Gray, and you can hear it. Woo! Bum ba lam, it's my world and it's my girl and it's my God. I'll kiss some if I'd like. I don't have you in mind. Don't have you in That's all I'm going to show. There's a newer version. No, I'm going insane. But I really like this riser. Such a nice riser. Alrighty. That is the end of the stream. Say goodbye, everyone. Bye. Bye. Say bye. If you don't say bye, I'll be sad. Bye. Alright, thank you. Thank you, microphone. Wait a minute. If you guys don't say bye, I'm gonna be really sad. So, are you gonna do it? Alright, 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 alright. So it looks like I'll have to have the microphone do it. Alright, that's better. Bye!